The devil will try to set you up, my friends. This is what he does. This is what he's an expert at. One day you'll be fine. Everything's going great. Maybe you're in a good job. Your life is okay. You're paying your bills. The sun is shining down on you. You're feeling happy. The next day, out of the blue, something happened out of your control. And it's completely thrown you off guard. All because you didn't do your due diligence. You took somebody's word for it. And you didn't find out for yourself. Because the devil knows you are a trusting kind of a person. And maybe you was trusting the wrong people. And they've got bad intentions towards you. And that's what's happened. Because you react to people's kindness. When you think that someone is showing you an act of kindness, it warms your heart. Why wouldn't it? And then you soften yourself up towards that person. You're thinking that they are, oh, this is one of the last nice people, one of the last good ones out there that's actually nice and good towards me. That's what you're thinking. But it was all a ploy to distract you from what they really are and what they really wanted to do. Because that is how a devil works. They will pretend to be nice and kind at first, you know, but later their true intentions will come out. It's a bit like good cop, bad cop. In other words, they will set you up for a trap, good and proper. It happened to me so many times. With friends and at work. One time, many years ago, I was working in the care profession, like 25 years ago. I was working as a healthcare worker, support worker, in supported living in the community in the big city. And I just finished a 24-hour shift, I can still remember it, where you had to live in the house with the people in the community, with men who had learning difficulties and mental health problems. Supported living, they call it. But you also gave them their independence to come and go as they pleased. Anyway, at the end of the shift, a new member of staff came in and took over from me. We'll call him Billy. He came earlier than what I was expecting. So I was pleased because I was going to go home early. And part of the job was to report anything that had happened in the night, in the previous 24 hours, anything that had gone wrong, any issues, anything at all. Any problems that there was, you would tell that new person when they signed in, when they started their new shift. And then you would have to check the signatures for the medications and for the money of the service users, which was kept in a safe. Everything had to be checked and signed for. But this new guy that came on duty, Billy, he said, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to check that. Everything's fine. Everything. I'll check everything. I trust you, man. I trust you. I trust you. Ha! That's what he said to me. He was a devil. Later that same day, when I got home, I got a phone call at home from the agency that I worked for. And they said, where's the money? I said, what money? I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? They said, you took the money out of the safe. I said, no, I didn't. Everything was there when I left, and it was all documented. I knew exactly how much was left. Anyway, they said, there needs to be an investigation, but in the meantime, you're suspended. Suspended, really it meant we're not giving you any more work. So, no more work meant no income. And that put a strain on my marriage at the time. And I had a young child to support as well. Nobody believed me at all. Nobody. I got no support from nobody. And God knew the truth, and he knew what had really happened. Amen. And guess what? A couple of years later, after I'd already left that company, because all of this completely changed my career direction after what happened, I went into something totally different. But years later, I saw somebody from that same company, from that same agency that worked in that house, and I said to him, do you remember what happened to me? Do you remember what happened to me? He said, oh yeah, I remember. But Billy, he got the sack. He got fired. I said, why? Because he got caught stealing money and he had a gambling addiction. I said, I told you. I told everybody, but they wouldn't listen to me. Nobody believed me. And they never even had the decency to apologize, to get back to me. All of this was because I didn't do my proper checks. Because people are so evil. You can't trust them. Evil and wicked people will set you up. Demonic people. My friends, be on your guard. It's got to be said. I don't care if anybody says, oh, your videos are always negative, they're always morbid. I don't care. This has got to be said. Because we don't live in a world of roses and cotton candy and everything's nice. It isn't nice at all. If it was nice, Jesus wouldn't have had to come in the first place. Jesus said this is a wicked and evil generation, and it's true. When you let your armor slip, that is when the enemy jumps in. The devil has been monitoring your life and everything that happens in your life, especially in the workplace. This is what he does. Why does he do it? I'll tell you why he does it. Because you cannot trust the people that you work with. You don't know anything about them. You know nothing about them. You don't know where they're coming from. And this is the perfect scenario. This is the perfect situation for Satan. Amen? Because the workplace is based on trust, right? But certain people will use their position of trust to undermine you, to discredit you, and to destroy you. It's different if you have friends outside of work, because the only reason why they will rise up against you is because they never liked you in the first place. And this happens all the time as well. You might think you know them, but they never liked you in the first place. In the book of Matthew 24:12, it says that lawlessness will be increasing and the love of many will grow cold. And these are the signs, my friends. These are the signs of the end times that we're living in right now. The love of many will grow cold. In the end times, wickedness will rise up. Compassion will fade away. It's not my words. All of this is not my words. These are the words of Jesus himself. The words of Christ himself. So be careful what you're doing, my friends. Maybe you work in a hospital, maybe you work in teaching, maybe you work as a mechanic, an engineer. It doesn't matter. Because it's quite possible that somebody could be working secretly against you for your downfall. They've got an agenda. Never believe when someone says, oh, it's okay, I already checked it, it's fine, don't worry, it's fine, I've done it. I'll tell you another quick story. My son is a pilot. He flies single-engined aircraft. And he has to do pre-flight checks before he can take off. And whenever somebody is responsible for fueling up says, it's okay, I filled it up with fuel, he always checks it for himself, just in case. He always checks it, just in case. These are the times that we're living in right now, when you can't take someone's word for it. Something that you are responsible for, you can't take someone's word for it. If they feel offended when you double check, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. The most important thing is you are protecting your name and your position in the workplace. Amen. This is good advice for somebody. The devil needn't think he is so smart that you will fall for the biggest trick in the book. No way. People are cunning and crafty like an old fox. And you don't even know what they're actually truly thinking, do you? You don't know what people are thinking. But you're going to stay ahead of the game. You're going to cover the bases. You're going to wear your protective armor. You're going to be proactive and not reactive. Proactive. Staying ahead of the game. These are the things that need to be said, I'm telling you. Because we are living in a very, very competitive and evil world of dirty tricks all over the world. Every nation, every country, every place. And the low levels of deceit that Satan uses against you, because Satan knows that you've got kindness and that you've got a godly nature, chosen one. He will use that against you. You better believe it. You can't be naive anymore, not in these times. My friends, the Bible warns us as believers to be so vigilant. We have to be vigilant in everything, in every way, in every situation, against the schemes of the devil. He will try to exploit our good nature, our good traits, our godly nature, by using wicked and evil people to do it, to exploit us. In 2 Corinthians 11:14, it says, Satan will disguise himself as something so lovely, something so caring, something so beautiful. It doesn't actually say that, but it says this, but he will disguise himself as an angel of light. That's what it says. He will disguise himself as an angel of light. He will come across as so good and so nice and so kind. But the later intentions are to steal, to kill, and to destroy everything that you've had, everything that you've worked for. He will try to manipulate the chosen ones in all circumstances, using all people to do it. That's what he will do. I know there's so many of you that have gone through trials, that have gone through situations, and you're probably saying, if only I would have double checked, if I only checked, if I only went back, if I only checked properly, if I never allowed myself to fall for the biggest trick in the book, if only. I'm sure you will agree. And this isn't me being ultra morbid or ultra paranoid. I'm not paranoid. This is being real. This is being absolutely real. You know? It's keeping it real for the world that we live in right now. Right now. The pitfalls and the traps that we don't need to step into, do we? We don't need to step into that filth on the ground, do we? I always double check now, because people will lead you into dangerous waters if you're not switched on. Even sometimes it's out of their neglect. Maybe they didn't realize that they didn't do their checks, you know, and then they're passing something on to you, you know. Maybe they fixed something. Oh, it's all right, it's fixed, I've done it. And then they'll pass it on to you to finish the job off. And they never did their side of the task. Operations, you know, fixing cars, whatever. Something that can cause somebody to lose their life. If somebody is not switched on and focusing on what they're doing and they pass it on to you, you will get the blame, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Anyway, I hope this word helps someone today. I really do. It's important, very important, because we can't just sit back and relax, because the enemy doesn't relax, does he? The enemy is always right in there, causing trouble every single day, plotting and planning and scheming how to bring your downfall. As a chosen one, as a follower of Christ, he knows that you follow Jesus. He wants to bring you down. Thank you, my friends, so much for listening, for staying here to the very end, watching the whole video. I do appreciate it. I hope this word helps somebody today. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Shalom. God bless.